Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Unified Hints. That's a name that you're going to certainly start to know, just like Coca-Cola. But right now, so we have to just do a lot of the press that we do. Isn't that interesting when you think about it? RENAE Patterson is my guest, and RENAE asking you, isn't it funny that Coke still advertises? You think everybody knows Coke, right?
I know. It's important. You got to stay ahead of the competition.
Well, you do. And of course, you don't think you have any competition as Unified Hints.
Oh, no, not yet.
Okay, so let's tell everybody who's just tuned in to, of course, you're now on Facebook Live, but also be on the radio. Tell everybody what Unified Hints
Okay,
is.
Simply put, Unified Hints is a software application and an organizational tool that allows you to store all of your health information and important documents in one place. So the next time you go to the doctor, you have an ER visit, or you're traveling, you need access to that health information, simply log onto the application and access the information for you and or a family member.
Yeah, that's an elevator speech. That was really good, so fast. And so we are going to find out, though, it's so obvious what the benefits are, but it's funny, I'm going to a different doctor, and I'm about to go, and he handed me 4 sheets that I have to fill out, right?
Yes.
And that's what made me think so much about your process, and that's why I'm joining you, because I don't want to have to do this with everybody else, right?
Exactly. So if you enter your information into your Unified Hints account, it formulates a nicely formatted report for you, so you can take that report to a doctor's office. So you can print it out. It'll have a list of all your emergency contacts, your medications, past medical history, things of that nature. So instead of repeatedly filling out those forms that's asking those same questions, you can simply hand them a copy of your Unified Hints health report.
Do they not want it on their pieces of paper?
You can ask your doctor's office their preference. Sometimes they'll just take a copy of what you have and scan it into their system. So ask the doctors what their preference is to see how.
Because I don't want to do it twice. I mean, if I want to do this on Unified Hints, but I would think, I was with someone, a friend of mine before, and she needed help. So she went to this one doctor, an orthopedic surgeon, for her elbow, and then she needed one for her ankle,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to do the same thing over and over again, and actually it was in the same practice.
Yes.
And so what you've created is so smart. I mean, the more I haven't been involved in things like this so much, but all of a sudden, recently I have, and I thought, wow, if we had, RENAE's system of Unified Hints, we'd be better off.
Sure, we have to think about the time it saves us as the customer or as the patient going to the doctor's office. We save times on completing those forms, and it saves the staff time, the nurses, the medical assistants, and the doctors from reviewing those forms. They may be legible, they may be complete or incomplete at times. So if you had something that gave at least a synopsis of everything that's going on with you and presented it to the healthcare team at that time, it makes their job a lot easier. So it saves everyone time at the end.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you said something that was very important. It's very annoying, actually, to keep filling these things out, right?
Very true.
Yeah, they do it purposely so that you really, have you ever had this? Have you ever had that? No, I haven't had that. Well, check no. They don't want you just to ignore it. They want you to check no so that you really get to think about this.
Mm-hmm. Very true, very true. But as a user of Unified Hints, you have to advocate for yourself and explain to the staff why do you think it's beneficial that they accept your report that has a synopsis of your medical history. So you have to advocate for yourself to a large degree as well. But I think once the staff notices the time that they're saving and asking you the same questions, reviewing the forms that you just filled out, trying to extract the information from you each visit, and you came in organized already, they could appreciate that.
And of course, we're talking really to a nurse. That's why RENAE did this, because she saw the system. And so it's rare that we get someone as a corporate CEO and founder who is a nurse in this area, but that's what I think makes you so believable.
Yes, it's very true. I've been a nurse for 20 years, and I have to tell you, despite the specialties that I may have worked in at the time, the problems remain the same. patients and caregivers always struggle to recall vital health information. Their medical records were always scattered between doctors' offices and hospitals. So I developed Unified Hints as a tool to help you stay organized with this information.
And it's interesting because I have a grandson whose grandmother is 101 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you can imagine, right now the organization does know everything about his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
But if something were to happen, he'd have to get all the, all that documentation and all. And so it might be very nice to have this. If you do this on a little disc, what do you put it on?
It's a web application, so as long as you have access to the internet, you're able to access your information. You simply go to the website and log in with your username and password. So it's a website. You can access it from a mobile device, a laptop, a desktop, wherever you are, as long as you have internet access. And we also have family accounts, so you can add up to 4 family members to one account, so you don't have to manage multiple family members' information in different portal. You can simply do it from the one Unified Hints account.
But do you have such a thing as putting it on a little disc?
A
or
jump
on
drive? No,
yeah.
we don't have a jump drive option right now. It's all internet based. So from your phone, you go to unifiedhints.com, log into the website so you can access the information.
I see. Well, knowing what something we just heard about, somebody's a huge area, the website just went down because someone was hacking. I was wondering, is that maybe in the future you're thinking about that? Is that a big problem to try to put it on a?
It's not a problem. We do offer a documents library, so you have the ability to take pictures and scan documents in the application as well. So anytime you need them, you can download that information and have it readily available. You can save it to a jump drive at that time. So right now we don't have any physical device that you take with you to appointments. You simply log into the application. But if for some reason you needed to download or access any of the information you've stored on the application on the jump drive, you are able to do so.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So that's a possibility. Well, tell me though, when you're doing this was an invention, of course, of yours, that you knew people needed this because you saw what happened. What is the most valuable part of what you're doing?
The most valuable part is I'm a registered nurse, and I saw.
And I'm going to move something over here so we can show you.
I'm a registered nurse, and I saw the pain points. So, as a solution to those pain points, I developed Unified Hints. And if you go to our website and log into the application, one of the first things you see is our dashboard. And our dashboard gives you a snapshot of some important information, such as emergency contacts, your allergies, medications, and providers. So you have, again, a snapshot of important information that you don't necessarily have to drill completely down into the application if you wanted to know what is being done for a particular person. Some other features we have in the application, we have in our My Profile section. This is where you document just basic demographic information, and we have the ability to view the application in English, Spanish, or French. So that's one of our other added benefits to the application, is that you can change the language.
Well, you can see that it's not complicated to you, but it's complicated to me.
Is it complicated to you?
No, I don't mean it's complicated. I could never have invented that, I'm saying.
Okay.
But I have someone like you, of course, who's doing this, and so it's worth every cent of, and getting down to that. Probably so inexpensive, I keep thinking that you've made a mistake.
Well, one of our goals is for it to be affordable also. We're just trying to solve the problem of individuals having their medical records scattered amongst everywhere. So one of our goals was to make it affordable for each individual to use. And we do have 4 subscription plans. And the cheapest plan right now starts at $2.99. And that's for the individual who's able to manage the information themselves.
In other words, to put the information on the application.
Yes.
Yeah. But then you have people who maybe can't and would just as soon have you do it. So what would they have to give you for you to do it? Do you have to talk to them personally?
Yes, I would talk to them personally. So we offer 2 concierge services. The first concierge service is for the individual, of course, one person, and we offer a concierge service for family members. So we would work with those individuals to collect their information and enter it into the Unified H.I.N.T.S application. So it just really depends on what their needs are. Everyone may not need to utilize all the features of Unified H.I.N.T.S. You may be someone that just struggles with keeping an accurate list of your doctor's names, your medications, maybe just your lab reports of some sort. So I always encourage people to utilize it as a tool to help you better manage those areas that you're struggling to keep in order.
Okay, and I think it's a good time for us to get people to get in touch with you. We're going to give them your phone number. It's 833-MY-HINTS. That's the easiest way to do it, isn't it?
Exactly.
833, of course you put the 1 in front of it, but 833-MY-HINTS, H-I-N-T-S. And of course your website is also, it's my...
www.unifiedhints.com.
Unified H.I.N.T.S,
Yes.
right. Unifiedhints.com.
Yes.
Interesting. And if you go on her website, you'll see a lot of things. And this wasn't casual. I mean, it took a lot for you. And you said it was almost, I think, 5 years, or I'm trying to remember, 10 years? No.
Yeah, the idea came about 10 years ago.
The idea.
Yeah, the idea came about 10 years ago. I've been actively working on the current development that you see for about 3 years now. And I can tell you one of the largest challenges were just securing a development team or developers to build out my vision. One of the things that was important to me was to design something that was user-friendly and intuitive to the user. So once you log in, you can easily navigate the system, which was really important for me.
Yeah, has anyone called you brilliant? But it really is. This is not casual. And you didn't grow up as an internet specialist, did you? You were a nurse.
I was a nurse, and I was fortunate enough to work in the information technology departments of various hospitals, which is how I got this experience and the idea in the first place. So nurses have the opportunity to work in some marvelous areas and specialize in things such as information technology or clinical informatics.
Informatics?
Clinical informatics, yes.
I never heard that word, informatics.
Yes.
Okay, see, every time you come here, I learn more things. Well, we're really very pleased to have you a part of Boomer Times because I have been, one of my passions is cutting edge information, medical information. I love that. I love when physicians come on and they talk about all these new, the new instruments, the new medical information. And here I never knew there'd be something like this, and that you're perfect for this. So when we have our next Cure Symposium, I think you'd be a perfect person for that, to show something different, because this is really cutting edge.
Okay, it would be my pleasure to be a part of that.
Yeah,
definitely.
I really think that it would be, because it's different, but it's very important. And every doctor, I would like to have this, I believe, as with their patients having this. So I know that you're going to doctors now to try to make them understand there is such a thing. So do you think that they would recommend? That's what you would like, wouldn't you?
I would like doctors to become an advocate on my behalf to their patients, to let them know how necessary it is for them to stay organized with their health information. One of the challenges that hospitals and doctors' offices currently experience is the exchange of health information, and I believe the patients or the consumers are that nucleus that can bridge some of those gaps in communications. If I just started to make it a habit to ask for a copy of a lab report, or the next time I got a prescription to take pictures or scan those items into my repository, the next time I need that information when I go to a specialist or another primary care or have an emergency, I have it readily available, versus the healthcare team trying to guess what the medication was or when did I last have that procedure done. I can become that nucleus to provide this information and become the center of the patient care team. So really just trying to change our view on how we manage our health care.
I can see a lot of yellow Post-its all over their kitchen, well, I take this medication,
Yes.
or I do this, I saw the doctor. That's what they do. And then, of course, it drops down, they forget it.
Yes.
And many times doctors have said to me, well, when did you have your last colonoscopy? I did have that. Just asked me. And I said, well, I think it was like when I was maybe 60. And, of course, that was 20 years ago. And it's like, oh my goodness, and maybe, okay, and now I just had a colorectal. I think there's something else you have instead of the colonoscopy to just check it. But that's what I think this is so good for. When did did you ever have measles? When did you have the measles? And do you have all these other diseases?
Yes.
And that helps people.
And that's very important. So once you have that colonoscopy, if you can just ask, may I have a copy of that lab report? You're stored in your documents library, so the next time you go to your primary care or you're following up and they say, when was your last colonoscopy? You can log onto your phone and say, let's look. And then you download the report for them.
It's too good.
Yeah.
It's too good. So are you saying, though, I would scan it in? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you would definitely have to scan it in or take a picture of it. Yes.
Right. Scan it in. It is really great, because I don't know how smart you are, but you definitely can't remember all these occurrences you go.
Of course not. And if we're fairly healthy, we have fewer challenges. But think about the person with a chronic illness or someone that's newly diagnosed with cancer of some sort. Now they're having to manage information between several doctors or coordinate care between several doctors. So again, this is a tool to help minimize those challenges, so we can now focus more on the healthcare delivery, getting better, feeling better, the doctors, focusing on their treatment plan versus all the information gathering. That could be very time consuming, just trying to get a fax report from another doctor or laboratory.
Oh, it is time consuming.
Yeah, so we can deal with that challenge on a different level and come prepared, then now everyone gets to focus on the ultimate goal, which is high healthcare delivery.
And I think having someone like you at the helm is important, because if someone is having a problem, that you could jump in and say, oh, well, maybe we should do this or we should do that, right?
Yes, it's important.
I mean, you're available.
It's important to listen to the consumer's feedback, and that's one of the reasons we have the concierge service offering, because it's not very, I guess, fun to deal with your medical records and all those challenges. So we are trying to take that burden from you by providing you with some assistance. Let us help you collect and organize the information, get it uploaded, so then it becomes a maintenance type of requirement as you move forward along your healthcare journey.
And you just said something about maintenance. So you're saying that you put everything in, but then you're free to keep updating yourself. It's not extra charge. It's just it's yours.
Yes,
you keep putting in, and you're typing it in.
You can type it in, or you can scan it in. Yes.
Okay, and so you said it was $2.95 for
$2.99 a month.
99 cents
for
a month.
Our silver plan.
It's a year subscription.
Yes, for the year, it's like a 15% discount, so it's $30 for the year.
Okay.
But on an individual payment, $2.99 a month for our silver plan, and that's for the one individual who is able and who is technology savvy and willing to collect their information uploaded into the Unified H.I.N.T.S account. That's the silver plan.
All right, and then what's the next one?
The next plan is our Silver Plus plan, and that's the family plan where you can add up to 4 family members into one account, including your pets. And again, you collect.
Oh, that's another whole thing. The pets. I have a pet file you wouldn't believe.
Yes.
So I can. Oh, okay, good.
Yes, you can add your family. So again, as the caregiver or the head of household, you'll be the one responsible for collecting, managing, and entering the information in your Unified H.I.N.T.S account. But when we get to our gold and platinum plans, that's where our concierge service, featuring our pals, we call them pals, personal advocates and liaisons, will assist you with those tasks to ease the burden for you.
Wow. So that's okay. So what are the prices? Just tell us how that raises.
So silver is $2.99 a month. Silver Plus is $3.99 a month. Our gold is $5.99 a month, and our platinum is $6.99 a month.
So the highest price is $6.99, and what that does is it gets you help. It's
Yes.
concierge, and it's a family plan.
Yes, it's a family plan. Yes.
Well, that's certainly not a lot of money. I mean, I have to say it's worth every cent, because if you have some wrong information, it could really be so serious. People have died from, when the medical, especially the emergency people, don't know what you had or what you're suffering with. They can give you the wrong medication, right?
That's
You as a nurse understands that.
Or lack of information. That's usually the biggest issue. You're in an emergency room, your loved one is very ill, you can't think because you're so focused on them getting better, but you have nurses, you have doctors in your face asking allergies, medication, medical history. You can't think of any of those things. So if you minimally had an application that you can log into. You say, here it is right here. Or if you had a printed out copy of your patient health summary, you would take that with you to that emergency based on that particular scenario. So again, it's a tool to aid you in situations of that nature.
Yeah, it's one of the most perfect new inventions, and I have attended conferences which they try to fund new organizations and new things. And did you ever go and try to get that done? I would think they would have jumped on you.
I have not sought investors to date. This has been a project that has been self-funded. I'm at a point now where I'm ready to take it to the market. So maybe eventually, as I scale the product and acquire more customers and we look to add additional functionality to the application, seeking investors may have to be an option at that time.
It is so nice for me to be talking to someone so smart. I love this, especially a woman. It's great. It really makes a big difference. And so we're going to give this the information again. If you want to talk to RENAE Patterson, you will call 1-833-MY-HINTS, MYHINTS. And if you actually want to go online, you can go to
UnifiedHints.com.
Yeah, My Unified Hints.
UnifiedHints.com.
Oh, just Unified
Just
Hints. Sorry, I got
unifiedhints.com.
two. That's right. So it's UnifiedHints.com.
Yes.
Or the phone number, my hints.
Yes.
I see.
Mhm.
Okay, unifiedhints.com.
Yes.
And what are they going to see on unifiedhints.com?
A lot of information. They can go to the services tab and get and watch a video that gives them an overview of how the application works. It talks about our product as well as our services. So if you visit our website, it should be able to answer all of your questions. However, that does not eliminate the need to hear a human voice at times. So I welcome you to give us a call at 1-833-MY-HINTS.
Right, unifiedhints.com. Well, that's pretty good. So it's RENAE Patterson, and RENAE, as I said, is a nurse. When did you become a nurse?
I've been a nurse for 21 years this year, so in 1998 to be exactly, and I began my nursing career as an ER nurse at Jackson Memorial Hospital, a large county hospital, level 1 trauma center in Miami-Dade County.
Oh, I know.
So 21 years
I
ago.
grew up in Miami. I know Jackson.
Yes.
And can you imagine when you first started at Jackson what has happened? That complex is not to be believed with the University of Miami there, and it is amazing.
It is. I started as an ER nurse. I graduated from University of Miami's nursing school, so I felt at home. Yeah.
So what is the difference in an emergency going and doing it, just being a nurse, and working the way you did in the ER?
Well, I went directly into the ER, which is considered a specialty area, and they usually are hesitant to hire new grads into such a specialty area, so I was required to go through additional training such as a critical care internship. It was just like school all over again. You had to demonstrate certain procedures, you had to take tests, get a 90% on those exams and things of that nature, plus extensive mentorship at the same time. So in addition to my formal nursing education and passing the nursing boards, there was another degree of education that I had to endure to become an independent ER nurse.
I can see that because when you're in the ER, you get anything from soup to nuts, as they say.
You do, but it was, it's something that I was blessed to do. I got some wonderful training. Any job that I had after leaving the emergency room, I was well equipped to do, and I functioned well. I performed well in all of those jobs, so I got a lot of good preparation and skills.
When I was little, I used to play nurse and doctor with my friends, right? Did you play nurse? Is that how you decided that you wanted to be a nurse?
I didn't play nurse, but I come
You probably played doctor knowing you now.
I come from a long line of nurses. My grandmother was a nurse, my mother, my aunt, and even my daughter. She's a NICU nurse right now at Broward Health Hospital. So we come from a long lineage of nurses. So it just sort of fell on my lap, if you will.
Oh, so that's, that I'm on the Broward Health Foundation board.
Yes.
And so I know the NICU and the wonderful funding we've had for that. And I've been through all those rooms where the little babies are brought in.
Yes.
Oh, my heavens.
Yes.
So what made her do that?
That's her current specialty area. she'll probably never admit it. I mean, for a long part of her career, I was a pediatric nurse, so pediatric NICU,
Right.
babies. She could
Right.
just be following in my footsteps, but she'll never admit that.
But you haven't brought her into your company yet.
No, I have not. I think she's waiting for us to explode so she can get one of those C-suite spots, and she doesn't know that she's going to start at the bottom and work her way up, but not yet. I do seek her advice, though.
Well, it's great that you have all these nurses in your family, and that that's just beautiful. It's so I always love talking with you, RENAE, because you're like a bright light for me, and you're passionate and you're smart and I know you're very kind. So let's just talk about a person who calls you and they say, I want to do this. Tell us what you have to say to them.
Well, I mean, I guess a part of my nursing training is an assessment. Why do you want to do this? What are your current challenges? So just get a better understanding of how Unified Hints could benefit them moving forward. Once I understand what their challenges are, we set up a time to sit one-on-one together, and I do a demo of the application so they understand all of the features that's available for them. Then they have an opportunity to make a final decision as if they want to continue to move forward. If so, we're open to starting the collection data entry process right on the spot, or we can schedule a second appointment to get started.
And so when people, for instance, as I do this, do I just bring you all the information I possibly have besides my, all the medications? I take medications, or I take, supplements, or I want to bring that, and then I have to think through what disease I had or what I didn't have, or right? That's what you want from someone.
Yeah, I do, and I mean, information is everywhere. I've had people give me all 5 of their doctor's business cards. Here are my doctors, enter that. I've had them carry their bottles of medications and say, enter that. I've had people that are organized to some degree where they have notebooks where they write down notes, and it's a matter of, do you want to keep a copy of this? We can scan this copy as well, so you'll have it available just in case you lose your notebook. At least you have a backup.
So now I take my blood pressure every day. Do I want to put it on there? Because I have a notebook.
It's up to you. If you think it's beneficial, you can take your blood pressure every day for a week or 2, and then once you have a certain number of blood pressures, just take a picture, scan it into your application. So if for some reason you go to the doctor unexpectedly or to the ER unexpectedly, you can log onto your app and still have access to that information.
Well, we did it again,
Yes.
RENAE. You were so terrific. So please do call 833-MY-HINTS. And it's RENAE Patterson. And thank you. I wish you so much good luck. And you haven't heard the last from me yet.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
For me also.